Hello, Gemini, and welcome to my channel. I'm the Lady of the Throne, Divine Astrology, where God dwells within me as me. And I'm here today to bring to you your divine spiritual guidance for the current energy right now. I'm going to be using the New Testament today. I'm going to turn to a random page in the book, and I'm going to be revealing to you what is it that God wants you to know. I'm going to speak to your soul. Some of you may or may not resonate with these messages today, but that's fine. You can come back for another reading on Gemini where it may resonate with you. You can even check next month for another healing message. But this is the Isis healing message for you, okay? Keep that in mind as you're listening. Let's go ahead and get started, Gemini. I'm going to open up to the New Testament, page 227. 227. This is going to be Acts chapter 7, verse 1. Then the high priest said, "Are these things so?" And he said, "Brethren and fathers, listen. The God of glory appeared to our father Abraham when he was in Mesopotamia, before he dwelt in Haran, and said to him, 'Get out of your country and from your relatives, and come to a land that I will show you.'" Listen. Gemini, you are being called at this time to get away from certain people. And it all depends on if you believe that God is actually guiding you to a new lifestyle. Do you believe that? For some of you, you are being called to a new place, whether it's you're being called to move, make a relocation move. You cannot ignore it, but I can see that you're trying to ask God, is this true? Is this something that you really should do? And it's okay to test the spirit when you're unsure, like meaning you can ask questions. But I always tell Geminis not to go too far with the questioning of God, because sometimes you may ask and may realize that things can go left if you don't just follow suit. When God is telling you to do something, unlike other people, such as Taurus people who are very stubborn, and some Aries people who can be stubborn, you're a Gemini where I feel like, especially if you're a Gemini man, compared to those kinds of men, you're the one who would take heed to the call. But for some reason right now, you haven't been taking heed to the call. Only because you don't know how to approach the fact that you know it's time to have a new life. For some of you, this is going to be moving out of a family relationship with a partner that you've been dealing with forever. For others of you, this is going to be moving out of a home and physically to a different home or a different city or state. For others of you, this is going to be cutting off family members or certain friends that you know you can't take with you now that you know who you really are and what you're really meant to do in this world. Some of you could have been tapping into spiritual things and have realized what your purpose is, what your mission is, what your calling is. And you could feel that strong pull out of certain places in order to go to the land of milk and honey. Some of you could be called to leave a job that you know you have outgrown that job. You may be called to leave that job. You may just be in a place where things are up in the air. You may not realize what is the best move for you to make because you have so many things confusing you about which way to go or who to listen to, or maybe just should you even listen to your own guidance. The answer is yes. This thing that's pulling you away from a certain environment, a certain person, or a certain job, or a certain thing, it's all happening for a reason. And that reason is to get you to move away from that person, place, or thing. This is no longer a juggling of options. This is no longer a confusion. This is no longer a something that you question forever. This has now turned into an urgency for you to listen. This Bible verse says, brethren, right? This may be for a Gemini man specifically, but it can also be for a woman too. But it says, get out of your country and from your relatives and come to a land that I will show you. For some of you, it doesn't have to be leaving the country, because the Bible was written in the beginning of time, like early days, right? So it doesn't mean that it's just from the land. It can be, like I said, a job, a relationship, a city, a state. It can be friends, family members. It's things you need to change. God is telling you, you don't know what you're about to get yourself into, but let me show you. The key word is show. God is not going to show and tell. Sometimes God just shows. So I feel like you should allow God to show you what a new life would be like if you just step into the new beginning like you're supposed to. Some of you already know what direction you're supposed to move in right now. Some of you already know who or what you're supposed to be doing in your life. I feel like some of you are, wow. Mercury communication is all about Gemini. Gemini rules communication. Your planet is Mercury. You see, your purpose has a lot to do with you knowing the way. A Gemini in astrology is as if saying that a Gemini is the secret passageway to access God. Where other people may not know how to get there, you have access to God already. Why aren't you using your access point? You don't need a key because you are the mode of transportation to get there. You are the vehicle. This means that you can drive yourself to God, or to a better life, or to a better relationship, or to a better living situation if you want to. So that's really what it's looking like for Geminis. It just looks like you guys need to go ahead and make a change in your life that you know you need to make, and you need to take, the guidance that you're receiving from God about this, who, like I say, you have access to. And if you're receiving this guidance, then I feel like it's just time to consider doing that. Because it seems like you're making it a little bit more challenging than it needs to be for yourself without trying to take that guidance. But it looks like something wants to shift in your life, but in order to make that shift, I do feel like instead of trying to get more information on it, I feel like you already have the knowledge and the wisdom about it in order for you to go ahead and make that move. Okay, so your perception is already clear. It's just you keep battling in your mind about what you should do, but I feel like you should just make the move. All right, thank you.